Good morning. So I'm going to start my video vlogs today with vlogging in BC. Some backcountry stuff. So about a month off. It's not 100% dry out there, but it's time to give it a try. So just getting ready. We did our walk around and we'll get ready to head out today and see what kind of adventures we can get on. Stella's in the back sleeping already, so she's ready to go. And here we go. A ton of rain here in the last 3 weeks even. So we're gonna try to go out and see what happens today, and see if we can get some wood into the mill. The spot we're going today is Surrey Lake, so it's kind of halfway in between Kamloops and Merritt, so it's kind of a nice haul. We either do two pulp into town, into Kamloops, or else we'll take a saw log over to Kelowna, and then come back and get a pulp and bring it to town on our way back. Get a full day. Most of my days range anywhere between 12 to 15 hours. They're not short days, but I'm doing it for so long, I'm used to it. So it's the first time I had a month off and I don't know how long. Usually every year we try to have a block that's low enough we can keep going all year round, but this year we ended up with a month off and kind of wasn't looking forward to it, but I was kind of glad that I got it. It's kind of nice to catch up on some sleep and stick around the house and do some chores around the house, and so that was kind of nice. But not gonna lie, you do miss the money. I tell you, traffic sure gets crazy out here nowadays. It's ridiculous. Everyone's in such a hurry. Hurry. All right, so we're gonna start up the bush road now. Away we go. I'm very picky and I'll go super slow through the puddles because I don't want to get my truck all muddy. Had a lot of rain lately, lots of flooding, so it's been hard to get to some spots. It's been a lot of rain and then all of a sudden it got warm, so now it's flooding everywhere. So this one culvert I'm coming up to, just the water is just absolutely rushing through there. So for everybody that does know all about trucking stuff, people that don't, so I have a Super B logging truck, which is my truck, and then two trailers, tridem axle lead, and then a tandem axle pup on the back. So when I'm all laid out on the ground, I'm about 76 feet long. So these roads aren't super wide, so you got to kind of be careful with it. I'm allowed to haul 63,500 kilograms. So it gets interesting sometimes when the road gets muddy, or you got a really hard pull out of a block or something like that. You know, it's get pretty tough sometimes. Obviously the roads are not like highway roads, right? So they're pretty rough. They're not the smoothest in the world. I mean, we do our best to keep them graded and stuff, but still gets pretty rough. Maintenance on these things is unreal. Like, I don't know if I'd want a maintenance bill on one, just because of all the rough roads and the mud and that. And then you gotta, it gets really bad, you gotta get pushed by a machine, either a cat or a grader, or sometimes you're pulled and pushed, and it's nuts. The weather's changing so much. Usually years ago at this time it was already dry. Like, we would have been we wouldn't even had a month off. We might have had 2 weeks off. It would have been dry enough to go, but the weather patterns are changing so much that you get more and more time off every year. See how my camera does with the roughness of the road. My co-pilot's back there chewing on a stick. She's pretty busy. So we go up this road, 21 kilometers or so. And then we will get loaded and come back out, go to the mill. I'll give you guys some footage of when I'm going up empty, then I'll turn it off, and then I'll start recording again when I'm coming down loaded. Sure looks like a lot nicer of a day than it was the other day. Come up here on Tuesday, and it was starting out to be a nice day, and as soon as I started loading, it started snowing. And by the time I come out of the block, the grader could barely push me out of there, so I had to let it dry out yesterday. And here we are today. Apparently we got weather warnings for tomorrow with thunderstorms and rain, so hopefully we got another side. Hopefully we can go to the other side and get a load or two of wood for Friday. That's mine, Stella. Can't have my hard hat. You have your own. Well, that is yours. She likes chewing on hard hats, so she has her own hard hat in here. As soon as I get loaded, it usually takes me about, I don't know, by the time I leave the loader till the time I hit the highway, it's probably about an hour and 15 minutes to come 21 kilometers. So, go pretty slow. Don't like to beat the truck up too much. Lots of wildlife moving in this time of year too, so that's kind of cool. I get to see all kinds of stuff. The yearling moose I saw the other day up here. Of course I didn't have my camera on, because why would I see when that came out of the bush, but that and lots of geese up here right now laying eggs, and see the wolves and cougars, bobcats, so it's kind of cool to see all the wildlife, bears. I think that's the part that I like about the job the most. You know, you get to come out, kind of get out in the bush and no one around, and obviously except for people you're working with, but you know, it's like not driving in a hectic city all the time. Road conditions are a little worse, you know, but I'd trade that for driving through the city all the time. I'd like to eventually get a couple GoPros and kind of attach one to a bunk on my lead trailer and one on my pup, so then I can get footage of what my trailers do too. It'd be kind of cool. That's it's on my wish list. It'll take me a little bit to figure these vlogs out. Obviously never done them before, but figured it'd be kind of cool. You see lots of highway truckers have vlogs on their daily activities, and I didn't see much for what I do, so I figured, hey, what the heck, try it out, see what happens. It's one thing to see highway and stuff, it's another thing to see backcountry all the time. You know, we've got some pretty good blocks we're going into this summer that'll be really cool for footage. Take it way back in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of nice. So what we're coming up to now is, this is Highway 5, the Coquihalla. We're going to actually go underneath it. We're in between Kamloops and Merritt, and then we're going to go underneath the highway, continue on. Alright, so we are loaded. Now we're coming out of the block here. Head back to town. It's a little soft. We got some logs in the road for corduroy. I can let the water out of the ditch and the logs in for soft spots so we can still get over them. The road is a lot smoother in the winter. Slow go, but we'll get there. Not in a massive rush, but 2 trucks are loaded ahead of me anyway, so. Plus, I don't like wrecking stuff. That was a little longer, it was an hour, but when that loaderman was loading me, the bank sloughed away a little bit on him, so Ken had to reposition himself and rebuild the bank a bit. But like I said, once you start rushing, it's when shit happens. Not good stuff either. I'm doing this long enough to know if you get behind, you're behind. Doesn't matter. You'll never make that time up. The second you try, so when stuff's gonna hit the fan. Lots of these places have been logged already, so further we got to go further and further and further back on all these roads, so they're getting to be lots of adverse out of the blocks. So I guess the wood that's left is in the shittiest spots, so not much snow left, not here anyway. Up higher there's a little bit of snow left, but it's not too bad right here. We were hoping to have this all done by the time breakup hit, but there's still 60 loads sitting in the bush, so just couldn't get them out. So get them out now and move on to our next project. We'll drop this one off and come back for another. It's only a 4.5 hour round trip, so come back for another pulp, get a decent day, I guess. It's always nice to have the first week back, it's kind of ease yourself into it. As you can see, the roads aren't very wide, and they're definitely far from smooth. It definitely takes a toll on your body, that's for sure. Poor dog can't even sleep. Definitely a lot better today when I come out here on Tuesday. Like I said, the grader can barely get me out of here, so it's better today. A couple soft spots, but it's in the shade where the sun doesn't get at, but like I said, it's just the way stuff goes in the spring. It's always slow in the spring. The last spring was good, and away we went right away, awesome. Hardly any moisture. But then the summer was probably one of the worst summers we've seen. It's probably the only time that I can remember that I've had to wear chains in the mud every day the whole summer. There's only 3 or 4 days the whole summer I didn't wear chains in the mud to get out of where we were. Getting pushed and pulled with skidders and cats. It wasn't pretty. This hill here was a real tough pull in the winter. 2 sets of chains and front axle on my front trailer lifted up for some more weight on my drives. Just all you can do to get up here. Yeah, I've been in the bush for so long, and I don't know if I could go. I definitely know I wouldn't want to go on the highway. I don't know. It's too hectic nowadays. It's just too much. We're in a world where everybody thinks all about themselves only, you know, and everyone's in such a hurry that it's just dangerous. how many times, and you'll probably see throughout my videos, you know, when I do film on the highway, how many times I get cut off. It's unreal. It's just absolutely unreal how many times that I get cut off. People don't understand how hard it is to stop a truck loaded with as much weight on as I have, you know. People aren't thinking, right? They just don't think sometimes about it. Or imagine after I stop at the Hammer, you're gonna have to give me a push out a couple spots, but hey, at least we'll get out. We'll get to the Hammer and I'll stamp up and turn the camera off for a bit and venture down the road and show some other scenery. And that would conclude the first video that I'm going to do, and hopefully I get better at it as you know, the further along I go, but I thought it would be interesting. See what happens, I guess. Probably hear a lot of random thoughts of me. Got so much time to think to come up with some pretty awesome stuff. My wife looks at me sometimes like I'm on blue. Anyway, I'm going to stop up here at the stamp hammer and stamp logs on my load so I don't get in trouble for forestry. And away I go. So, talk to you guys in a bit. So, that's going to be a day today, and see how this video turns out, and we'll make changes along the way and see what happens. And Stella and I will talk to you guys another day. See you later.